Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining me today. It's Allan Laboucan with the Rocks and Stocks News website. I've got another special report. I'm seeing some action that I think is very bullish for the price of gold and copper. What I'm seeing is the US dollar seems to have rolled over. It's gaining a little bit of strength today, which is Tuesday, July the 26th. Tomorrow's the Federal Reserve meeting where they're baking in the cake that there will be another rate increase. I think that those are getting a little bit long in the tooth now. They're running the risk of a major slowdown in the economy. I think that will be even more painful than a inflation that they're trying to fight. I can see that, the price of the US dollar has recently topped. It's been on a relentless run since earlier in the year when they were making noise about the rate hikes. It was trading at about 96 on the US dollar index. Got topped out at about 109. Has recently come off of that top. Down to about $1.06. Today, it's as I said, it's gaining some strength, up 0.63% to 107. That's probably related to the next rate increase, which is supportive of the U.S. dollar. I don't think the market is really anticipating that there could be some words of caution regarding the economic growth issue. With interest rates going up like this, it puts a lot of pressure on debt, it puts a lot of pressure on the housing market, and puts pressure on the economy. And I don't think that's got a lot longer to go. I've been wrong. I didn't think that they would raise interest rates. They did. I think that they're running a very risky situation right now with the economy. And I think that's the main reason that we could start hearing some news about the end of the rate increases. If you're looking at alternative currencies, I would look at something like the Canadian dollar, the Aussie dollar, New Zealand. These are resource countries, resource producers. And I think that natural resources are crucial to economic growth. I think these currencies could see some very positive moves. I think there's other currencies out there that I would much rather own than the US dollar. And so I think the US dollar is in for some pressure. Then if you look at the price of metals, the gold and the copper have been moving contrary to the US dollar, like often happens. Gold topped out at about 2075 earlier this year, recently got down to, let's say, 1680 range, has bounced off of that low. I think it's very oversold and ready for some more positive movement if the US dollar goes under pressure. Copper is in the same story. It topped out at about $5 a pound, recently traded down to around $3.12. If you believe in this, as I do, in the revolution in car, how they're powered, I think the electrical car revolution is just getting started. It's going to need a lot of copper. The supply and demand story for both copper and gold are very bullish. What's been bearish has been the power in the US dollar. But as I said earlier, I think that's coming to an end here soon. Or I think it has topped and it is topping and will get weaker, which is very bullish for copper and gold. So on that note, I wanted to talk about some gold and copper stocks that I think are very well positioned to see much higher prices. One of those is High Gold. High Gold Mining, their stock symbol is HIGH. they made an impressive discovery last drilling season in Alaska that they're now getting back to drilling. And I'm very positive because the target horizon where they found thick intersections of high grade is very close to surface. So they can bang a lot of holes in it. And then about 1 kilometer away, that target horizon seems to continue to what they call their milk bone target. And that is on the same horizon as the DC. So, and they've also had some of their best surface sampling results from that milk bone. I think there's a good potential that that is all connected. And if you've got a horizon of thick intersections of high-grade gold, that's the kind of thing that can send a stock into overdrive. And the reason that I believe that that could be the case is because when you get thick intersections of high-grade gold, that's suggestive of a powerful gold mineralizing system. And I think that's exactly what they have between DC and Milkbone. And a couple of other important factors are that this year they put their own sample preparation lab onto the property. The big delay for a lot of junior mining company explorers in getting assay results back comes from the labs having problems with their sample preparation. It isn't actually the assaying that's causing the delays, it's the sample prep. So now they can sample prep on their property, send the concentrate off for assaying, and likely get those back in 2 to 3 weeks. So they have the potential for fast turnaround of assays, plus they have a near surface horizon of high grade gold that will be easy to drill. They don't have to drill a bunch of deep holes to get at it. And I think that combination is going to put them into a tremendous news flow starting anytime in the next couple of weeks. And I think they're going to deliver with their drilling, and that will help them to get a much higher valuation. Next company I talk about is one of those kind of companies that I think you could put your money into and just watch it grow. I80 Gold reminds me a lot of a young Barrick Gold when they were a small company producing gold in Nevada. They made a world-class discovery. The rest is history. I80 Gold is a small gold producer in Nevada with an excellent profile for growth of their production. And they've got 2 world-class projects on their hands that they're drilling at the same time. One of those is Granite Creek, and the other one is their Ruby Deeps and their Greater Ruby Hill project. Both of these projects are hitting extremely good drill results with high-grade gold in them, and yet the price is at an all-time low. The company's only been trading for a little over a year, so in that time frame, they're now trading at their lows. And I think a lot of that had to do with the price of gold. And as I can see, gold is about to get stronger. I80 Gold is a best-in-class junior mining company with an excellent profile or portfolio of assets that can help them grow into a 200 to 500,000 ounce producer and have a lot of excitement with the drilling. Therefore, I think that this company is a multi-billion-dollar company in the making, yet they're only trading at about a $500 million valuation. I think that that's going to prove to be very cheap as gold gets stronger and they keep on putting out great results. I think that you're going to see some exceptional performance out of IAU. is their stock symbol. They trade on both the Toronto Exchange and the New York Stock Exchange. And I think as American institutional investors want exposure to gold stocks when gold gets stronger, this is a go-to kind of stock. And I think therefore you're going to see excellent performance out of IAU in the short and long term. Next up is Galantis. Galantis is also a new small producer that also has the potential to grow with their drilling. They're doing near surface underground, and that will enable them to use the underground workings to drill off an orogenic gold system. Orogenic gold systems are very deep, they go for very long depths. And part of the problem with drilling them off from surface is that you got to drill a lot of really really deep holes. With underground workings, well, first of all, with underground mining, bringing in cash flow, and then being able to use those underground stations to drill off, I think that this is a Swan Zone, Fosterville in the making kind of project that's not getting a lot of joy in the market, suggesting that that's what they are. When gold gets pounded down, a lot of these gold stocks get mispriced on the downside. They overshoot on the downside quite dramatically. I think Galantis is one of those. And I think that the next big move in the price of gold is to the up. And that will be very positive for a company like a Galantis. And I can see a great news flow coming out of this company from both production and drilling into the depth potential of their orogenic gold system. And based on the high grades that they've found in the near surface stuff of an orogenic system, I think that puts them in a tremendous position to deliver more gold and find dilation zones. This is where the rocks open up and the fluids can come in. And we call those jewelry boxes in the mining sector. And I think they've got a tremendous chance to find some jewelry boxes like they did at Swan Zone, at Fosterville. And I don't think that potential is being priced into the stock. I like Galantis a lot, and keep an eye on them. Another orogenic gold explorer that I like is Endurance. Endurance has been sort of drilling off the near-term top of a sort of a horizontal kind of the near surface, if you will, of an orogenic gold system. But recently they started to transition to find the depth potential. And again, you've got the chance with these orogenic systems of finding what they did at Fosterville. As they got through the near surface stuff, they started drilling deeper. They found the Swan Zone, and it was a company maker for Kirkland Lake. And they were a big company to start with. So it made them into one of the best performing gold miners in the sector, and ultimately got them bought out. And I think Endurance is onto one of those impressive orogenic systems that can find these jewelry boxes as they go deeper. And they're now chasing that deeper potential, the vertical potential of an orogenic system. This is when it can get very exciting. And I think Endurance has a great potential to deliver very good drilling results. The final gold stock I wanted to talk about today is Timberline. Timberline is down in Nevada. They're in the same kind of rocks as what IAU has found at their Ruby Deeps project. And they found like 70 meters of high grade. So this is extremely thick, high grade. And Timberline is looking for something like that. They have other targets on their property. They're in close proximity to IAU, I80 Gold, and they're drilling right now. They could release results at any time. And if they do release the kind of results that I think they have the potential of, their $33 million valuation can go up quite dramatically. TBR is their symbol, and I like what I see with Timberline. Before I close, I want to go into a couple of copper stocks that I'm very bullish on. One of those is Cantente Copper. They have a sort of a best-in-class project that I think will be the target of a takeover. They have a top 10 undeveloped of all the undeveloped projects in the world for copper. They're in the top 10 of both size and grade. And that is the kind of thing that major mining companies end up taking over and putting into production. There's been some recent action that suggests to me that they could be a target in the near term. And I think that that's their ultimate destiny, is to be taken over at significantly higher valuations than what they're currently trading at. Currently, Candente has about a, what is it? I'm just going to get the numbers up here. Currently, they have a $44 million valuation. And it would not surprise me to see this company, when they do get taken over, looking at something like 150 to a $250 million valuation on a takeover. I've run the numbers on the size, the grade, and the various different metals, mainly copper and gold. And I think that that's a reasonable valuation to look at for a takeover. And so you're looking at multiples of the current valuation. I think that that's what's in the cards for Candente. DNT is their stock symbol, and they trade on the Toronto Exchange. The final company I'm going to talk about today, and it's certainly not the last but least kind of situation, is a company that's recently made a discovery of extreme high-grade copper and other base metals in Canada. The company's name is 9 Mile Metals. N-I-N-E, 9, is their stock symbol. And this is a VMS discovery. There's some things about VMS that these are volcanogenic. They're volcanoes that cause these metals to make their way to the surface. What's known about VMS deposits is they often occur in clusters. So far, they've found lenses that likely come off a much bigger body. And what's really exciting about that scenario is that even in the lenses, they're finding extreme high grade. So you can think of it kind of like when you see a volcano, you see all this lava flow. You're kind of in the lava flow, and you haven't hit the guts of the volcano yet. When you find that volcano, that's where things can get tremendously exciting. And the reason that I think that this can be tremendously exciting is, even as you're getting out into the extent of a volcanic event, you're getting thick intersections of extreme high grade. That speaks very highly about what you're going to find when you find the guts of that system. They're doing some geophysics right now that I think will help them to target those the vent or the event that caused these lenses. And when they do, I think they've got the potential to just hit it absolutely out of the park. The company currently has about a $10 million valuation. I don't think it's factoring in any of this potential to find bigger zones than the lenses that they found. But if they do kitty bar the door, this could be just a tremendous winner. And I think that's what they're going to do. The geophysics, I think, is going to help them target those magma chambers where you can get pooling of the fluids that carry the copper and the zinc and the other metals. And I'm quite excited about 9 Mile Metals. I think they're on to something quite special. And it's in a place where there's been a bunch of these the VMS deposits found and mined, but nothing in the grade and the thickness like this. So I think they could have the crown jewel, if you will, and that will lead them to a much higher valuation. And they're very cheap right now. On that note, as always, my shows are for information purposes only. It's important for you to speak with your financial advisors and do your homework before making any investment decisions. Doing that homework can include going to my YouTube channel. On my YouTube channel at Rocks and Stocks News, I've interviewed all of these companies, and I think you can do a lot of good homework there. Go to their websites where you can find their news releases and their corporate presentations. That'll help you understand more. And as you do that homework, I think you'll be as impressed as I am with the potential for these companies to perform well. And in a more bullish market for gold and copper, which I think is coming, these are the kind of companies that can have explosive growth. On that note, have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.